Hi guys, how's it going? It's been a little while since I last posted a video, but we are back leading the mighty Norskins and Wulfric the Wanderer up against IPL and his greenskin hordes. It looks like he's gone for a Savage Orc theme, which I rather enjoy. So let's get this underway and see how it goes. So, in the front line here, we've gone for a little bit of a nice combo. So we have Marauders, these are just the basic variety with a chevron. And they do decent against all kind of cheap orc infantry, do very good against basic orc boys and goblins and so forth, but will struggle against some of the tougher guys. So to accompany these, we do have some Marauder Berserkers, who apart from looking incredibly badass, and like they should be in the cast of Vikings, they're big damage dealers that should do a very decent job up against almost all orc infantry, apart from black orcs, as they will struggle to get through their armour. So we have those all along the front line, 3 of each. Then in the very front we do have some Marauder Hunters, and these are going to be the Javelin variety. So I used to use the throwing axes a lot for their added AP. However, these guys with their added range, better arc of fire and so forth, are going to be really useful, and they're going to be here to try and pick down giant spiders, trolls, or just add a little bit of added poke damage to the front lines to ensure we win those front line engagements. Now we do have 2 beasties, as you can see. So over here, first and foremost, we do have the Soul Crusher, regiment-renowned War Mammoth, absolute beast and tank, and has a super useful ability called Enrage, which gives you a plus 44% damage resistance. So you charge this bad boy in just ahead of your army, it soaks up all that damage as you pop your buff there, allowing all your other units to get in pretty unhindered. Accompanying him, we do have Wulfric the Wanderer leading our forces up on top of his big pimp chair here. He's just going to be sitting around whilst his mammoth does most of the damage. Now, I've brought these big 2 terror-causing units because the Greenskins have very low leadership. We're going to try and capitalise on this by making them rout off the field. And on either flank, we are going to have some wolves. So we have Norscan Ice Wolves and some basic Norscan Warhounds on one flank. And on the other flank, we do have a unit of Ice Wolves. Now we're going to be trying to break off as many units as possible and then just chasing them down, trying to net that great value with our hounds. That is the basic plan anyway. And of course we also have a Shaman. We've gone for the Shaman Sorcerer of Death here, who does have the kind of predicted spells with Spirit Leech and Fate of the Unit. We're also going to be trying this build probably with aspect of the Dread Knight as well to add that little bit of extra terror. Let's have a little look at my opponent's build. So for the very front line, he does have a couple of units of little goblins just to soak up that charge. And they're going to be protecting a couple of units of Night Goblin Archers. And I believe in the back, he does also have the Rusty Arrows, the regiment-renowned Night Goblin Archers, who also have Armour Sundering, which is very good mixed in with their poison attacks. Now for his main front line, however, he has gone for Savage Orcs mixed in with some Orc Boys all along the front line there, which is a really nice pick. He's basically doing the exact same thing that I'm doing on the other side with the Marauders and the Berserkers, so very much like this overall. In the back, he has a couple of units of Savage Orc Biggins. Now these guys are a little bit more elite. They should be able to crush through my Marauders fairly easily. They do have their war paint as well, giving them a little bit of physical resistance. They're bigger in armor and they're big damage dealers, so it'd be really interesting to see how these guys perform. He also has a unit of Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins, which is an absolute mouthful to say there, who is going to be his anti-large. Just trying to... Do they actually have anti-large officially? It doesn't look like it. I could have sworn they had anti-large. But either... Oh, they do. They have a bonus versus large. There we go. They're going to be there trying to take down any big monstrous units I bring, which the Norskins do like to bring overall. And it looks like in the flank he has another unit hidden here of just Savage Orc Biggins. And he has gone for the Arachnarok Queen, the regiment-renowned Arachnarok Spider, who can also draw some really nasty little hatchlings. So I like that pick overall as well, because much like the Greenskins, the Norskins have fairly low leadership. So we are just going to be advanced now, our hounds moving up the flanks, trying to get into some forests, and just kind of add that pressure on. Our main force army moving up, as the Shaman Sorcerer of Death is just going to move forwards and threaten a little bit. Of course, have all that Spirit Leech, Fate of Unit and whatnot. This can be a very scary person, to be riding towards you, even though they are riding towards a massive wave of Greenskins. So overall, it looks like the hounds have popped into the left side, and they're going to spot this rather angry unit of Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins, and they're very quickly going to turn tails and run away. Don't want to get in there at all. Shaman Sorcerer is getting a little bit danger close, just waving at those goblins. So it's going to be popping forward and dropping down a Fate on those Savage Orc Biggins. Really want to do as much damage as possible before the front line engages, as they will be an absolute terror to my front line. And also they'll be put up a decent amount of damage against Wulfric and the Soul Crusher if they can pin them in. So a little bit of archer fire returning here. But the Shaman Sorcerer is not too fast, loses a tiny bit of health there, but in return, as you can see, he's done a huge amount of damage to those Savage Orc Biggins, so it's definitely a worthwhile trade. However, that does use a lot of Winds of Magic. So as you can see, over on the far side, I believe we do have our Hounds situated on one flank, and these other ones, they're just going to be chilling a little bit, waiting for that front line to engage. The Javelins did start to push up, however I'm moving them back now as they're going to be quite pivotal in taking down the Ragnarok Queen, who is anti-large, so I have to be a little bit wary with these Mammoths. But they are going to spread out a little bit, and just start trying to crush down on this front line and break these units as quickly as possible. Wolfric has found some Goblins who probably aren't going to be the happiest of chaps. He does just start storming through. They're already up to 14 kills, 16 kills, 17 kills. They're just jumping up. The Hobgoblins are getting crushed. The front line has engaged, so we do drop another boat as well by Wolfric down this front line, doing a decent amount of damage to the rusty arrows there. And you can see the War Mammoth did crush straight through this line to try and hop on top of these archers. But nice response from my opponent, bringing the Ragnarok Queen across. But in return, we're just going to pop in rage and move back, helping trying to sort out this front line, rear charging these Savage Orcs. However, he's been chased by Anne luring him towards my Marauder Hunter Javelins, at the moment are just supporting this right-hand flank. Now over on the left, the Warhounds are going to be moving up again, and I believe the Warhounds on the right are slowly circling towards the battlefield. As you can see, we're going to start breaking off some units, hopefully fairly soon. Now we did have a slightly wider front line than my opponents. We have managed to sneak around a unit of Marauders in the back here. As you can see, the war has been popped as well. So these Marauders are going to be chasing back, trying to hop on top of these Night Goblin archers, do as much damage and scare them off as possible. Wolfric has managed to crush through this front line fairly effectively, and is hunting down Wurzag. He really wants to get on top of them, drop his Hunter of Champions, and just do a serious amount of damage. So it looks like the Marauder Hunters are constantly now firing into these Savage Orc Biggins right here, trying to break them down, hitting them from behind to do a huge amount of damage. The Soul Crusher does scare them off. They're going to be switching their main focus on Ragnarok Queen rather soon. It looks like Wolfric has managed to find his perfect target, drops Hunter of Champions, and he is just wailing on Wurzag, who's desperately trying to get out of there as fast as possible. He's just getting destroyed, but it looks like Wolfric does get a little bit caught up on some Savage Orc Biggins, and has got a little bit distracted. In the back, it looks like our Norsca Hounds are starting to chase down units. We're chasing down these Savage Orc Biggins here, which is a fantastic pick. It's some great value here, really don't want these guys coming back. And you can see these Hounds are already up to 66 kills, and the other unit is up to 21 as well, chasing down Night Goblin archers. And it looks like over in the back here, these Goblins did rally, originally scared off by Wolfric, and they're going to be chased down by Ice Wolves as well. So luckily, with the help of these Javelins, the Soul Crusher does manage to actually scare off the Ragnarok Queen. That fight he would normally lose, but this constant fight in the back by these real decent utility unit overall does manage to bring down that Ragnarok Queen, or at least scare her off for now. And there it goes, completely shattered. Wolfric kept trying to push through onto Wurzag, but he's getting constantly attacked from behind by these rather nasty Savage Orc Biggins, and the Boar Boys are going to be charging in with some Ice Wolves just to try and help break these units. And Soul Crusher is running to the aid of Wolfric, who is pretty beaten up now. He's done a fantastic job scaring units and routing them off. He's taken a huge amount of damage in return. Now, all across the battlefield, we are just swarming on units wherever we can. Looks like a nice spell coming down by my opponent there, trying to scare off some Marauder Hunters and do a decent amount of damage. Might be a little bit too little too late, as Wurzag is being chased down. A Spirit Leech does get dropped on him, and we're just hunting down these Greenskins as they flee all across the battlefield here. It looks like Wurzag did manage to get caught and is broken himself. He's probably going to go shattered. There he goes, and with that, power balance just absolutely rushes in my favour. That is going to be game. So a nice close victory there. Let's go to the end stats. So very well played to IPL there. Really like his build actually, it was quite interesting to come up against. I like the use of Savage Orcs, I don't see them as much as I'd like. And he really did do quite a decent number over on some of my units of Marauder Berserkers, and these Marauders here did a decent amount of damage. However, I managed to get into that back line, loop around with those Marauders, to try and shut down the Archer fire, which then allowed Wolfric and the Soul Crusher just to do a huge amount of damage and just rout units off, allowing these rather cheap units of Wolves to get 54, 83 and 92 kills. Yes, some of them were on routing Goblins, but others were just on routing units of Savage Orc Biggins, so some fantastic value there. And the basic plan worked overall, scare off the Greenskins, break their leadership, and then just chase them down. This is nothing new, but if you are new to the game, it can work against armies which have low leadership, much like the Greenskins, Beastmen and so forth. It always pays to have a couple of really fast, cheap mobile units, just to chase down, stop units coming back, and get that great value. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like or leave a comment down below what you'd like to see next, and do subscribe. It really helps out the channel. So coming up tomorrow at 8 p.m. in standard summer British time, we do have the third Death Before Dishonor, which is super exciting. It's one of the biggest kind of events on the channel that normally happens, and this is number 3, and we have the returning champion and trying to defend his title. So hopefully see you guys there. It'd be great to see a few of you in chat. Peace, peace. Stay awesome.